I'm back with another declutter video. This is gonna be the part 2, second video of my declutter. If you missed the first one, it was of my lip products. So I will link that in the cards for you, and if I remember, in the description box as well. But today I'm going to be going through my makeup drawers because I've noticed when I've gone in there lately, there's a lot of stuff I'm just not touching and not using. So I want to not only see if stuff is old, but get rid of things that I'm not using to make more space, just declutter my life a little bit. So let's get into it. And I'm going to start with the bottom drawer because I'm pretty sure that's the one that I use the least. I've got a free sample here of the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. And I don't know if any of these would be my shade, but I would like to maybe try it out. I don't know if a sample is really enough to test it out. I'll hold on to it for a bit longer to see if I end up using it at some point. I thought this was a finishing spray or the setting mist, but it's really more of a glow mist. I guess it's supposed to like give your face hydration or mist it, I don't know. But anyways, it's not really meant to be a setting spray, even though that's what I was attempting to use it for. It is pretty old. The liquid, actually, now that I'm looking at it, doesn't look so great. And I've used it mostly up, so I'm going to get rid of it. This is a setting spray from e.l.f. It's their Matte Magic Mist-In Set. I do like it as a setting spray. I don't think I have much left of it, but I am going to finish it up and keep it until I do. Next is a primer. This is from Makeup Forever. Their Step 1 Skin Equalizer, but I've had it for a while, haven't used it. I'm gonna get rid of it. I really don't use primer as much as I once did because really I'm wearing less makeup than I once did, even for videos. So don't see myself needing it, gonna get rid of it. Next is the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, and I've been holding on to this thinking it was a bronzer this whole time. But no, I'm pretty sure it's a primer that's supposed to kind of blur pores and stuff like that. Because when I swatched it, I'm like, why is there no color coming off? Oh, because it's just supposed to act like a blurring primer. But again, I haven't reached for it, don't think I'll be using it, so I'm going to get rid of it. Then I've got a bunch of eyeliners here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eyeliners. And I haven't touched them in months. I really don't wear eyeliner much anymore either. I don't know why. It wasn't a purposeful decision. I just haven't reached for or used them when I've done my makeup recently. So I think I can definitely whittle this down to be less than 6 liners. This is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper, and it's still sealed, but I don't know if I really am going to use that type of liner. So I think I will put that in the maybe pile. But then again, Kat Von D doesn't even exist anymore. Though with it not being opened, I don't know. That's a maybe. This is a little sample one from Lancome. Again, haven't reached for it, haven't used it. So I think I'm going to get rid of that one. This is a gold eyeliner from Bare Minerals. And while I'm not using it right now, I do see myself potentially using it during holiday time, so I'm going to hold on to that one. These are a couple from the Zoella and ColourPop collection, which was a few years ago, and they have been opened, and anything with the eyes I don't want to mess around with, so I'm going to get rid of them. And then I have this one from Bare Minerals, Rock Around the Clock, and I think as long as I sharpened it, it would be okay. It's more of a black sparkly one, so I'm going to hang on to that for now. And since I don't have a plain black, I'm going to keep the Kat Von D for now, and we'll see if I end up using them. This is another primer. This is from Dr. Brandt. It's the Luminizer Primer. I think it came in an Ipsy or something. Haven't opened it, haven't used it. Pretty pricey full-size primer. I'm going to hang on to it still. Hopefully I'll try it out. I feel like I've said that before. So if I don't try it out by the next declutter, I hope I remember to get rid of it. But I'm gonna hold on to it a bit longer in hopes that I do try it one of these days. This is the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. This is one that I like to use, and it's still somewhat newer to my collection if I remember correctly. It doesn't smell off, so I'm gonna hang on to that one for now. This is the e.l.f. Camo Cc Cream. And it's kind of strange because I liked this when I first started using it. I remember everybody on YouTube kind of raving about it. But as time went on, I really didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the way that it sat on my skin, and it just seemed like it was a bit too difficult to work with, so I'm gonna get rid of this one and not keep it anymore. However, this I am keeping. This is fairly new to my collection. An old favorite that I decided to repurchase because I know that I like it. I like the way it looks on my skin, so I'm going to keep it and continue to use it. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. I have the color 202 Creamy Natural, and I do like it. So that was everything from the bottom drawer because everything else in there is basically tools, sponges, things like that. So I'm going to go on to drawer 2 and see if there's anything to declutter in there. First off from that drawer, we've got a bunch of hand sanitizers, and I know that's not makeup, but it's in the drawer, so I'm going to talk about it. I've got this one from Ofra that they sent me when I purchased some products that I have not even yet opened, and so I'm going to keep that one. I don't use hand sanitizer super often. I would rather just wash my hands than use hand sanitizer, but if I don't have the opportunity to wash my hands and I'm somewhere that maybe I'm like touching a lot of public surfaces, or I am going to be eating something and there's nowhere to wash your hands, that's when I'll usually use hand sanitizer, or when traveling. But therefore it takes a long time for me to use them because I don't use it super often. So, but I will keep this one. Also got a free one from e.l.f. at some point when I ordered stuff from them. I think that was the thing to do after the pandemic because people for such a long time had such a hard time getting hand sanitizer that then companies started making their own and sending it to people. So this one is also unopened and I'm going to keep it as well. Then I've got these two from CVS, and I truthfully don't know if hand sanitizer goes bad, but I have a feeling it must at some point, and these are pretty old, and not only that, but they're very runny, liquidy, which they were not that consistency before, which is what's making me think that they went bad. So I am going to get rid of these ones. Now these items are more everyday makeup items that I'm using all the time. Let's start out with this. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. It was a little, I don't know if you'd consider this a sample, but it's cardboard packaging. And I'm not someone who really uses bronzer very much. It's not my go-to. I'll use blush and highlight all the time before I'll use bronzer. Very rarely do I think to grab for a bronzer, plus then when I do use it, I never really know exactly the best way to apply it or how to make it look good on me without it looking like my face is just dirty or that kind of thing. Plus, I know I've had this one for a long time, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Same goes for this one. This is a very old Pixie bronzer. I kept them because I'm not replenishing with new bronzers because, like I said, I use them so rarely, but because I've had them so long and I'm really not using them often enough to justify keeping them, I'm going to get rid of this one as well. Now for my highlights, this is an e.l.f. highlight in Moonlight Pearls, and I do like this and I'm still using it, so I'm going to keep it. Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in Moonlight. I don't know if you're supposed to use this as a highlighter or mix it in with your foundation, but I use it as a highlighter. Still like it, still gonna use it. I also have a Benefit Watts Up highlighter that I'm enjoying using and gonna try my best to use up. Then I have this pressed one from the Zoella ColourPop collection. It's nice, I've hit pan on it, and there's really not much left to it, so while I could try to go through and completely empty it. Since it's on the older side and I've got other highlights to use, I think the time has come. I'm just going to declutter it. Next is the Becca Highlighter, which I know they don't really have these anymore, but it's more of a powder product. It doesn't smell bad. I'm still enjoying using it, so I'm going to hang on to it for now. Then this is a highlighter I have from Trace that, I don't know, I got in some subscription or something. And this one definitely goes on much more pinky and icy, which probably doesn't work for a lot of skin tones. I feel like it's worked pretty well on mine, but it's also not the most natural or blendable look. And since I'm trying to weed out things and I've got other stuff to use for highlights, I'm going to get rid of this one. I have to say, I'm doing better with this decluttering than I thought. I guess I'm really in a mood to clean out things that I don't think I'm going to use in order to make more space, make less clutter, all of that. Now on to blush. I think I'm going to be keeping all my blush, but this is one from Ofra and Samantha March in the Chicklet Duo. And I'm still, sorry for the messiness of the packaging, that's what happens when you use stuff, but I still like it, still using it, still has quite a bit in it, so I'm going to keep it. This is one I got from Ipsy, from Gigi Gorgeous, when she had done the collab with them, and I like it because it's a double. It's kind of two different shades, and I especially like this more pink shimmery shade, so I'm going to keep that one. This is the blush from the Zoella and ColourPop collection, and again, I pretty much used it all up. I was trying to use the whole thing, but since I'm doing a declutter and it's so close to the end, and I've got plenty of other blushes to use, I'm going to get rid of it. And this is from the Disney Designer Collection, the Belle bundle or whatever, and this is her blush in Enchanted Mirror. And again, there's still quite a bit left in it, and since it's a powdery product and I'm still enjoying it, I'm going to keep it. Man, does it take a long time to go through blush, even with, I mean, it's probably because I have multiples of them, but I mean, I wear blush practically every day and these still all have quite a bit in them. Then this was a collab between Ofra and Madison Miller, and this is a little trio set with 2 blushes and a highlight, and I still do really enjoy using these, so I'm going to keep them. So that is everything for the second drawer. Now onto the final drawer and top drawer, which really is more makeup tools and things I'm really using every day, like brow pencils, mascaras. So I'm not going to go through everything that I know I'm for sure going to keep, which is pretty much everything in this container that I'm holding. I'm just going to pull out the stuff I know I want to get rid of, because really there's not much in here other than tools and the things I'm using every day. So the only thing I want to get rid of from that top drawer is a powder, and it's from Ciate London. And I've done my best to use this up, but I really don't, I mean, it's not a bad powder necessarily. It's they're referring to it as a translucent powder. I do use it as a setting powder. I have had it for quite some time and still seems to be quite a bit left in it. And it's not necessarily the product that I have an issue with. While it doesn't keep you finished all day, it's, like I said, not a bad product. Like, it hasn't done anything negative to me. It's really just the packaging of it that I am not a fan of, because it's got the holes in the top there for the powder to come through. But it just, maybe this is because it's a loose powder, and maybe this is how loose powders work, and I'm just one that prefers pressed powder. But because it comes through the holes in the top, and then when you put the lid on, it makes a mess everywhere every time you use it. I feel like it lets out too much product, more than you would want. So since I'm going through and decluttering, and I don't love this, haven't for a long time, have tried my best to use as much as I could, I'm going to get rid of it. Just to share with you, the one I am using as well and enjoying is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed. So this is also a translucent powder, but pressed, and I prefer the way this one is packaged better because I can just get what I want from it. It doesn't go everywhere and make a mess, so just to show you the difference. I know I didn't really give you a full count for this declutter because I did it a little bit differently. It wasn't really one category, it was just kind of going through my makeup drawers. So it was kind of a mishmash of a bunch of different things, so I didn't count all the items since I was kind of figuring it out as I went through. But just to share with you what I am decluttering, I have 15 items that I am decluttering from that drawer. And I'm happy with what I'm decluttering. It's stuff that's either practically empty or I'm not enjoying using or not liking. And I think it's going to make going into those drawers a little bit easier each day because I'm not looking at stuff that I'm not touching or not using, and I'll really be able to kind of curate things that I want in there that I'm using all the time. So I hope that you enjoyed this declutter. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see me declutter in the future. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment with your video requests. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon.